Welcome everyone. Here's the Team-Atulya from ISIEINDIA Bhatinda. Now we start for our innovation video of our hybrid vehicle for HVC17. Here's the list of innovation.
But in some vehicles, a freewheel unit is provided between the gearbox and the propeller shaft. Now let's understand its working and advantages. A typical freewheel unit can be shown as: it consists of an inner driving member, which is connected to the gearbox, and an outer driven member, which is connected to the propeller shaft. The driving member is provided with 3 steps, and in each step, 3 spring-mounted rollers of different size are attached. Now when the driving member rotates as shown, the spring elongates and the rollers tend to move outwards. This outward movement of the roller increases the friction between the roller and the driven member. This friction causes the driven member to rotate, and thus the power gets transmitted to the propeller shaft. The main advantage of the freewheel unit is that it leads to less wear on the transmission while driving down a slope. To understand this, consider a car moving downhill with the clutch disengaged. In this case, the outer member becomes the driving member. But this rotating outer member doesn't rotate the inner member with it. Thus, the engine and the transmission gets isolated from the driving wheels, which leads to less wear on the transmission. Also, the gear need not be bought in neutral.
In our vehicle, we used 2 units of freewheel connected in anti-parallel manner. Both of the freewheel unit is connected to a common auxiliary shaft as shown in the figure. Let us describe about its working. In engine mode, when engine shaft starts rotating, it will rotate the first freewheel unit upper part which is connected to auxiliary shaft. It will then rotate the auxiliary shaft and provide power to the gearbox which will further transfer to the wheels. In this mode, the second unit of freewheel remain disengaged. In motor mode, when motor shaft starts rotating, it will rotate the second freewheel unit upper part which is connected to auxiliary shaft. It will then rotate the auxiliary shaft and provide power to the gearbox which will further transfer to the wheels. In this mode, the first unit of freewheel remain disengaged.
When the driver steps on the brake, the vehicle's electric motor switches to generator mode. The wheels transfer the kinetic energy via the drivetrain to the generator. Through its rotation, the generator converts a portion of the kinetic energy into electrical energy. This energy is stored in a high-voltage battery. The generative braking torque of the electric motor, which is the result of energy generation, decelerates the vehicle. At low speeds, for example, shortly before the vehicle comes to a stop, the electric motor can no longer supply sufficient generative braking torque, and the friction brake must be activated. To maintain the required deceleration, the braking torque from the friction brake is continuously adapted to the current generative braking torque, a process called torque blending. In the case of full braking or an unstable driving condition, the vehicle is usually decelerated solely via the friction brake, as wheel-specific interventions are required. Regenerative braking enables an extended range in electric vehicles, as well as lowering fuel consumption and improving CO2 balance in hybrid vehicles.
With the entire world moving towards wireless technology, this can be used in the automotive world of racing to ensure high-end security to the driver. The wireless trigger of kill switch would avert any mishap to the driver during an emergency such as loss of control over the vehicle or subsystem failure or vicinity to accident.
Let's talk about plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. These vehicles are relatively new to the roads of Canada, and they are a unique approach by automakers to respond to more stringent greenhouse gas regulations. PHEVs, as they're commonly known, also respond to consumer demands for quieter, cleaner technology when they're behind the wheel. Quite simply, a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle is essentially a regular hybrid vehicle with a larger battery pack that can be charged by plugging into the grid. The advantage of the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle is that it offers an extended all-electric range capability. Let's get under the hood. There are three main components. First, an internal combustion engine, one or more zero-emission electric motors, and a battery or series of batteries. There are a number of different types and configurations which store and send out electricity, and a transmission that transfers the motor's power to the wheels. While you are driving, a series of computers are constantly monitoring the state of charge of the vehicle's batteries. A plug-in hybrid electric vehicle is designed so that your primary power is electric, so the electric propulsion system is first in line. But when the batteries can no longer provide adequate power, the internal combustion engine is commanded to turn on and take over. For some plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, the internal combustion engine can complement the electric motor when more power is needed. The plug-in hybrid electric vehicle also has a charging coupling, the place you plug into when you are charging the vehicle. That's because the batteries in plug-in hybrid electric vehicles need to be charged in order to ensure that you get the benefit of up to 70 kilometers of electric-only range. If your battery is depleted, you don't have to worry about being stranded, since PHEVs can operate without being plugged in. Most of the time, that means charging from the electrical power grid. People who own or lease plug-in hybrid electric vehicles can charge them up at home. And as these types of vehicles become more popular, public and commercial charging stations will begin to appear that can top up these vehicles while you run your errands.